Hare Krishna. The service is just a reciprocation of the love. The meaning of the service is when we love somebody, we naturally like to serve him. Like the mother loves the children and she naturally serves the children by feeding the child, by taking care of the child, by educating the child. So like this, when there is love, the service is just a reciprocation. In this world, we see every living being loves someone. But again, this love gets terminated at the point of death. So, when death comes, it separates the two living entities who are loving each other forever, never to meet again. And both of the living entities, both the soul, are in their own different journeys in the eternal timeline. And they are only the brief period in this life to exchange their love among themselves. So like this we see in this world, in our journey throughout this even one single life, we have many different people with whom we exchange our love. Beginning with our parents since childhood, later gradually we have our brothers, sisters, family members, and then we have friend circles, we have other colleagues, then husband, wife, children. So like this we see, so love expands and it jumps, but it gets separated completely at the time of death, never to meet again. So this is the nature of this world. Even though we may have so much love to some person, but when death comes, we have to get separated for all the time, never to meet again the same person. But in spiritual plane, when we are loving Krishna, it is never separated. We are loving all the time, eternally. So this is an eternal love. So that's why every living entity in this world is looking for only one fulfillment, that is the fulfillment of heart, that is love. This love is the thing which gives real happiness, and the love is when directed towards the Supreme Krishna, because that is the real love. So in Srimad Bhagavad Puran there is a instance when Dhruva was completely disheartened when his stepmother scolded him and she ill-treated him. Then he was crying in front of his mother, Suniti. Then his mother told, "Please don't cry. I cannot actually solace you, give any solace to you. Actually, God is the one, Vishnu is the one who loves everybody the most, more than me. God loves you." Like that the mother of Dhruva tells him. She tells that what love I cannot give, the God Vishnu gives you 1,000 times more love than me. So that's why God can give the love even which we cannot hold in our heart. The soul is having the thirst of love in oceanic amount, but in this world it is only getting few drops. That's why it is unsatisfied. Actually the soul is hunger of love, not of the food. So we may be thinking that people in this world are hunger out of the stomach, they are out hunger for the food. No, but people in this world, they are hungry for the love, and that love is highest when they are exchanging with the God, with Krishna. So this is the actual dharma of the soul. So dharma means the nature. The meaning of dharma is the characteristics. we see like dharma of the sugar is to give the sweetness, and dharma of the water is to quench thirst. Similarly, the dharma of the spirit is to love and to be loved. So this is the dharma of the soul. That's why when we love God, Krishna, and love the humanity, then we get the highest satisfaction in this world. In this world, there are fights, there are quarrels, there are disagreements between people, between communities, between various groups, because there are different centers among themselves. Centers in the sense they are centered for different things. They are their own egocentric. But when there is center of God, when we have Krishna in the center, and we all are aiming at the same thing, that is, we want to please Krishna, and Krishna is at the center point. So then there is no quarrel, then there is no fight between. Like in a still water, if you are throwing stones at different places, then there are ripples, and all the ripples will collide each other because there are different centers. But if you throw stones, keep throwing stones at same point, then it will be like concentric circles of ripples. You can see the ripples forming, circular ripples forming at the same point, because center is same, that is God. We all have the same center, Krishna. We are working for the same cause, to please Krishna. So when we reach this point, then that is the ultimate happiness. So Krishna further mentions in the chapter 15 that how can we attain that eternal kingdom, that spiritual sky, the spiritual world, where we are always present with Krishna, serving Him, loving Him, and be loved by Him. So there he mentions Nirmana Moha Jita Sangha Dosha Adhyatma Nitya Vinivritta Kama Dvanvair Vimukte Sukadukha Samagne Gachanta Moda Padamavyayanta. So here Krishna is mentioning various qualities we have to bring in ourselves so that we can become qualified to go to that eternal kingdom. We need qualification to go to that eternal kingdom. Like if you want to enter a university, there is an entrance test. There we will be checked whether we really qualify to pursue our education in that university. Do we have all the qualifications, all the necessary skills and talents? Similarly, when we are aiming at the eternal abode, spiritual sky, to be present with Krishna, we need a qualification. That's what Krishna is mentioning here in this verse. So in the beginning is starting with Nirmana. Nirmana. Mana means the pride, the false pride and false ego. Pride especially comes when we possess something, when we have something, and that especially arises due to illusion, and we think that we have so much of wealth, or we have people below me, I have so much of respect, I have so much of position in the society. So this is a false pride, because this is a temporary and this is not our true identity. This never nourishes the soul. The soul is only nourished by the eternal love. So like this, every conditioned soul in this material world is puffed up and thinking to be lord of this material world, this material nature. That I possess this, it belongs to me, everything is under my control and I am the king. So this kind of thoughts, this kind of consciousness, it clearly shows the pride. So Krishna in the beginning says nirmana. Nirmana means one should not have mana of anything he possesses. We should just have the mentality of caretaker. You know, if suppose something which is with us and we are using the thing, we should have the feeling of we are just a caretaker of that thing. Because even if I die, for example, if I have a iPhone with me and today I leave the body, I pass away, then the iPhone remains here. I cannot carry the iPhone with me, and my cousin or my parents will use my iPhone, so the iPhone remained here. So that's why instead of thinking that this is mine, we can have the mentality that I am a caretaker of it. I am just taking care of this now. At any point of time, it can be taken away by me. So, when the great King Alexander, before his death, he had 3 wishes to be fulfilled. The King Alexander shared with his soldiers that they have to do these 3 things when he dies. The first thing, his coffin should be lifted by 4 doctors, and 4 doctors should carry his dead body on the procession. And the second thing, the road on which he will be carried, his dead body will be carried, on that road all his wealth, whatever he has accumulated, the gold coins, the different jewels, all the diamonds, has to be poured there on the road. And the third thing was his hands should be kept open. So now why he shared these 3 things with his soldiers to be done after his death? So the first thing represents that though you may be king in this world, but still at the time of death, no doctors, no expert doctors can save us, can relieve our pain of death. So that's why he told the 4 doctors should carry my dead body. It signifies that even the expert doctors cannot do anything. And all my wealth should be poured on the road. So it shows that all my wealth could not come to help at the time of my death, and nothing I could carry. I'm just, when we conquered the different kingdoms, I took all these resources with me from the earth and I'm throwing it back to the earth now before I leave. And third thing, my hand should be open. That's what Alexander told. So it represents that when we were born empty-handed, and when we are dying, then also we are dying empty-handed. So nothing we can carry. Then for what we should be proud of? Why should we show false pride? So that's what Krishna is telling. So this should be a first quality we should possess, nirmana. Then only we can achieve the eternal kingdom. So there is a small instance regarding this with a great devotee who was there in the South India. His name was Kanakadasa. So when Kanakadasa was present in the ashrama with other scholars, other brahmanas and his guru Vyasatirtha, so other brahmanas asked a question that who can go to Vaikuntha? So there was just going on some discussion, and in that discussion this point came out that who can go to this eternal abode Vaikuntha. Kanakadasa that can this Brahmana go to Vaikuntha? Then Kanakadasa replied no. Everybody was amazed. Then they asked that whether our Guru can go to Vaikuntha. Then Kanakadasa told still no. And they were still amazed. Then they asked whether can you go to the Vaikuntha. Then Kanakadasa told, I may go if I can go. So this statement was really amazing. So everybody thought this Kanakadasa is so impudent that he is telling that he can go to Vaikuntha. But the meaning was completely different. He meant to say that I may go if I can go. That in the second line, I represents the ego, the false ego, the false pride. When we actually get rid of this false ego, where he's using I can, when I may go if I can go. I can go means when the false ego, when we get rid of false ego, then actually we can become qualified to go back to the Vaikuntha. So further Krishna is telling that Nirmana Moha Jita Sangha Dosha. Jita Sangha Dosha is free from the attachment which arises from the Sangha Dosha, that is fault of association. Sangha means association. You know, we are much influenced by the association. Whatever we have association, that is with whomever we associate, our consciousness also gets affected by that association. So that's why it is told in Shastras that Satsangat Mukta Dussango means you can avoid bad association by doing good association. Satsangat Mukta Dussango. When you do good association in the sense when we associate with people who are spiritually inclined, who are practicing some daily spiritual routine and whose thoughts are in line with the scriptures and who have got some deep connection with God and saintly qualities, so then we also get influenced by such kind of nature. But if we are associating with the people who are having lower consciousness, so then again we will be influenced by them also. So then naturally we will get attached with whomever we associate with. So again, attachment and aversion is two faces of same coin. Attachment arises because whichever gives us some kind of happiness, we get attached to that, and whichever gives us some trouble or some distress, we become averse to that. Again, these two things are like two faces of same coin. So Krishna is telling you should rise above this attachment and aversion. Jita Sangha Dosha. Adhyatma Nitya means every day you are having spiritual connection with God, spiritual practices like especially chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So this is a practical application which we can do after gaining the knowledge that we are the spirit soul and we are wanting to go back to Krishna. So chanting the holy names of God. Adhyatma Nitya Vinivritta Kama. Vinivritta Kama in the sense he has now conquered over his desires. Why he has conquered over desires? Because scriptures mention that these desires are the root cause of our bondage and also suffering. Asha I paramam dukkham, nairasham paramam sukham. So once we conquer all these petty desires, then we get the ultimate desire of loving Krishna. So Adhyatma Nitya Vinivritta Kama Dvandvair Vimukta. Dvandvair Vimukta means one who has come above the material dualities. Material dualities in the sense sometimes we get honor in this world, sometimes we get dishonor. Sometimes there is a profit, Sometimes there is loss. Sometimes we may get what we like, and sometimes we may get what we don't like. So, Dvandva Vimuktaha is crossed these dualities. Sukha Dukkha Samagni, and he is treating both equally, the happiness and distress. So that such a person can reach that eternal abode. He is qualified to reach that eternal abode. Achantya Mooda Padam Avyayam Tat. So one who is not illusioned anytime, so that person can reach that ultimate eternal abode. Hare Krishna.